So, okay. So it just came to my knowledge. Like, I already knew, like, the shit that they were spraying in the sky. Ever since I was, like, a child, I would ask. I would be like, what's that? You know, to my guardian or whatever. And they were like, oh, that's just, you know, planes. And when I was a child, I was like, it's weird. But anyways, the chemtrails, the shit that they spray in the sky, okay? I didn't know that it was an acronym called SATAN. The Stratospheric Aerosol Transport and Nucleation. SATAN. And they spray barium and aluminum in the sky, which is Baal. They're playing right in our fucking faces. Shout out to Minutes of Horror, Seconds of Horror. You know, shout out to them. Go subscribe, go like. But it's telling you right there. Okay, so Satan, the adversary of God, right? The adversary of God in our heretic biblical notion of spirituality. Satan, the adversary of God, is what they spray in the sky to cover the sun. So clearly Satan doesn't like the sun for whatever reason. So what does that tell you about God and God's people who need the sun? I think this was actually very much deliberate. Who creates an acronym to say stratospheric, I get that. Aerosolic, maybe. Transport and nucleation. What the fuck is nucleation? They were just pulling anything out of their ass so that they can have the acronym Satan. They are playing in your fucking face. I feel like this world almost refuses to acknowledge that the God spark and the divinity that is the divine and the consciousness that is divine manifested in this realm through the universe. The universe decided that the divine consciousness should be represented as melanin. It's how 3D space can exist. And the universe works in tandem with the Most High. The universe is just a function of reality, okay? It's just the function of law. It's just the universal law. And I think people are so biased and prejudiced, to be honest. They have a cognitive dissonance and a prejudice that they don't want to acknowledge. Their subconscious is fragile as fuck. And they really don't want to acknowledge that a group of people that they've deemed as lower on a hierarchy is actually someone who needs to be upholded. Look at this shit. The shit they spray in the sky is acronymed Satan. I did not know that. Nefarious intentions and completely diabolical. And it was something that was destroying our earth, destroying our soil, polluting our air, and blocking out the sun, which we need, which is a free energy source. And I also knew that they needed to block that in order to stop downloads from coming in from people who resonate with the sun and can actually absorb information through resonance, and keeping it so that those who burn in the sun won't burn so much. But I did not know they went as far as to say the acronym is Satan. Like, even NASA and all of that stuff, like, it's like, come on. Like, it's too much. And so God's people must need the sun. So then God's people must have melanin, like the divine spark. It's all subliminal. If you choose not to see it at this point, you just choose not to see it. It's like right in front of your face, and they're telling you to. They're also telling you. And it's not to say, and I've said this many times in many videos, if you lack melanin, if you're melanin deficient, that does not mean you can't ascend. Ascension is eternal. It's internal. But there is a truth that needs to be expressed. Truth needs to come out. Truth is in the air and it needs to be said. And the truth is, when divine consciousness wanted to represent itself in a three-dimensional realm, through the universe chose to represent an avatar that looked melanated and female with a womb. It chose that. That's what the universe did as an automatic thing of universal law. It chose that. Accept it, move on, or don't. If you can't accept it, that is also part of your test. That is honestly part of your test.